Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Great and Powerful Zilla, and I'm here with World of Tanks. Welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about this monster right here, also affectionately known in the game as the Doom Turtle. And we'll give you a little bit of a history of this vehicle here. Its designation when it was first made, it was designed in 1943, it was built in 1944. Its first designation was the T95, not the T28. All right, the T28 on your tech tree, we were looking at the T95. Where's it at? Right here. Its predecessor says it's a T28. These are backwards. This should be here. This should be here. Okay? So when it first came out, it came out as a T95. There were two of them built. And they found that its cross-country performance was so bad that it needed more less ground pressure. So they added another set of tracks and changed the designation to the T28. Okay? So what you see before you is not the T95, that's the T28. Alright? But regardless, the game's got a couple of things that are different on the vehicle for gameplay's purposes outside of its actual, what it actually did. Later on, the T28 with the 4 tracks was redesignated as a T28. This vehicle, originally as built, had a 105mm gun, and it was designed to assault the Siegfried line, the fortifications. All right. There were only 2 built. One of them caught fire in 1947 and was scrapped, and the other one, God, I love the United States Army. The other one just freaking disappeared without a trace. Lost. Gone. And in 1974, it was discovered abandoned in a field in Fort Belvoir, Virginia. It was restored and brought to the Patton Museum of Cavalry and Armor in Fort Knox, Kentucky. And it was then moved to Fort Benning, Georgia, where on the way there, it had a little accident and fell off the trailer and it broke some stuff, but they fixed it easily. And that Patton Park is supposed to open in Fort Benning in 2020, and this will be on display there. I have seen this personally. I was in the United States Army in Fort Knox, Kentucky. I was on it. I climbed up on it. You couldn't get in it. I've been around it. It is a monstrous vehicle. As it was originally built, it weighed 95 tons. It only went 8 miles an hour. And it actually had 12 inches of armor on the casement. The casement is this part right here. Okay? 12 inches of steel. That's a lot. The fact that it was able to move at all with this horizontal volute spring suspension is, to me, amazing. But again, originally it was armed only with a 105mm gun. In the game, they've equipped it with a 155mm gun, which only appeared on the prototype of the T-30, the turreted American tank destroyer that was built in the late 40s. The T-29, the predecessor to that, had a 105 as well. This one is a 155mm gun. Now, when I first started playing World of Tanks many moons ago, this thing was the slowest vehicle in the game, right up there with the Ferdinand. They have since buffed it. I couldn't tell you when, but they did. They buffed it. So, it does go a little bit faster than it did before. Well, what's it play like? It plays like your standard tank destroyer. You can push with it. It's heavily armored. But if you look at it from above, this whole area right here is just begging to be hit by artillery. Okay? So, it's slow, it's big, and it packs a heck of a punch. So let's take it up into battle and see what we can do with it. Okay? Alright, we'll talk to you when we get there. Okay, we got into a battle on Erlenberg, and this map, the way this works, on the left side of the map you have a castle and a hill and a ridge line, and then on the right side of the map you've got a hill in the center, a ridge line across the top, and normally what happens is the teams will split down both sides, being stronger on one side or the other, and push that way. The difference is this is assault. and I happen to be on the defending side, which is a lot easier to do than the attacking side. Remember, a rule of thumb in battle is that when you're assaulting something, you need a numerical superiority of 3 to 1. In this game, it's not. It's 1-on-1. So assault is very, very difficult for the team that is actually assaulting versus the team that's defending. And being in a tank destroyer gives you a great advantage because you're stealthy. So anticipating the push that would come down this side, the Scorpion G in front of me and myself decided to take up positions on this ridge. We didn't talk to each other, but that's just normally what you do. As I've said before, in these games, on these maps, after a while, you learn that there's a choreography, there's a pattern that develops, and players will do the same things map after map after map. There's nothing wrong with that if it works, but generally that's where you go, and tank destroyers go up on this ridge. Artillery goes behind it, and they deploy close to the water. There's a river running right down the middle of the map. But what has happened on this map, unusually, is, for me, is you see that big red blob in the middle? All of the enemy forces are going straight down the middle. Now this does a couple of things to them. It puts them in one heck of a crossfire. And it chokes their mobility. They're not able to move, and it allows us to put pressure on them otherwise. I take a shot at one of those new French wheeled armored cars that are in the game, but the thing is far too fast for me to hit. I'll be honest with you, I don't do nothing in this game. But they never come down this side. Normally, if they come down this side as a tank destroyer, you have a field day. You're picking these guys off, right? And of course, artillery would be firing on your position and whatnot. But in this case, they never came. They all went to the middle. I've never seen that before, ever. I've never seen a team basically commit suicide like this on this map. I don't know what they were thinking, but I'll tell you, it certainly didn't work, as you will see as the game goes on. Right now we're tied 1-1, but that's going to rapidly change. Watch the score just go boom, 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 boom. Okay, so the only thing preventing us going down this side is we're not quite sure what's going on, but I say, okay, there's only that little wheeled vehicle and he's gone, so I'm going to move up close to this farmhouse on this hill and see if I can't get some flanking fire into the enemy in the town. Makes sense. Scorpion G is already out there. I mean, he's much faster than I am. This is about as fast as you're ever going to go on a T95. It is a very slow vehicle. So I'm going to move on up and take a position up on top of this hill. One day when I get there, I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. Come on, come on, come on. Now you see why this was never built. And in the game, it actually goes faster than it did in real life. Besides, by the time this thing was ready to go, they already had the means to break the Siegfried line anyway. So we finally get up here to the top of the hill, and the enemy team is disintegrating. So we take up position, and I'm watching. Blam, blam. I'm just watching them just disappear. Our team is just picking these guys apart. This is a tier 10 game. And every time I try to get a shot on something, it's either behind a building or it's disintegrated before I get a chance to even shoot at it. And our team is just doing a fantastic job. Obviously without me, but they're just doing a fantastic job just picking these guys apart. Now there's a T-30 over there. This poor guy got caught out in the open, and he's gone. And if you look at the scores, see how fast the score is just racking up. What were they thinking? I don't know. They started a lemming train down the middle, and it just carried on from there, and they got caught in a crossfire and just got slaughtered. This was a massacre, guys. This wasn't even close. And I had nothing to do with it. But I got to drive around and show you the T95. I fired one shot the entire game at that scout. One shot. So here's a guy. He's in dead ground. I can't get to him. But the rest of our team sure can. And they just picked this guy apart. Like I said, this is just... I'm sorry, but this is the way games go sometimes. And you know how I do my videos. Win, lose, draw, good, bad, or indifferent. I show you what I see on screen. This is what I encountered today playing World of Tanks. This is what I came up against. And this was the game I had. And these are games that you will have as well. And I hope, for your sake, that you're not on the opposing side of it. Okay? So every time I think I got a shot, my team takes it out. These guys are just swarming. Look at them. They're like hungry lions. They're just swarming around these poor zebras that are caught in the headlights here. Again, don't do that. Not on this map. Do not go straight down the middle. You will get caught in a crossfire and you will just be cannon fodder. This was a massacre. Just a massacre. 14-4. Not pretty. And there's only one left and he's gone. Now typically at the end of my games my tank starts to spin a little bit. But anyway, that was Erlenberg on the T95. I hope we got to see something of it. It does hit real hard, but I didn't have any targets to hit. Until next time, you guys be good to each other. You have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll talk to you again. Bye.